Hello, Dina. This is Kim, and I am from Abundant Life Tarot, and we are going to do a love reading for you. First up, let's get started with some oracle readings. And we are going to start with the Dear Heart Oracle. And we are just inviting Spirit, Divine Spirit, to come in and bless us with wisdom, guidance that Dina can use in her relationship with Tom. And we thank you, Spirit. We know that all is good and all is well. And we're just so appreciative and we are so grateful. Thank you. All right, Spirit, we come looking for insight. Jumping cards, please, concerning Dina's question concerning the state of her relationship with Tom. And what are the overall energy, Spirit, that we need to focus on in this reading pertaining to Dina's relationship with Tom? I'm going to have to get my notebook as I wrote down her questions. Okay, that's one card. Are there any other cards? Okay. I'm going to stop shuffling and I'm going to actually got all your decks that I was thinking about using on the table. So let me quickly move these out of the way. Okay, so I wrote down Dina's questions here. She indicated that this was a love reading. She's in a confusing relationship and she needs to know Tom's feelings towards her and if he's going to be in her future. And she's been going through a lot with him. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So the first card, and oh, by the way, I only deal primarily with jumping cards unless we're running out of time. Then I have to use another method to pick cards, but I like jumping cards. The first card that jumped out was Shadow Self. You notice a spiral. Then we have Wounded that jumped out. And finally, we have Passion that jumped out. And what all of this is telling me is that with Shadow Self, there's a need in this relationship to... I can understand, Dina, why you would want to be focusing on how Tom is feeling, but really it's time to go within to these spirals of yourself to see what it is that you want out of a relationship, what it is that you want from this relationship with Tom. A lot of times in relationships, we are wondering how the other person is feeling. When we're in situations where we're having to wonder, then we're not in a secure place in that relationship. And sometimes that relationship will not be able to sustain that if it's built on that. However, if you want a future with Tom, you are going to now have to do some introspective work on what it is that you want out of a relationship. What it is that you see in Tom that you want in a mate. Is Tom exhibiting everything that you want in a mate? Like, did you ever make a list of things that you wanted, that you sought in the person that you were going to be with? Not every person does that list. I know personally myself, I just have a general understanding of the kind of person I wish to be with, but I don't have an exact list. But some people do. Some people need that, and maybe you're one of them. Also, when you're dealing with shadow work and shadow self talk here, we're dealing with underpinning the undercurrent. Is there a pattern here that's happening with a relationship after a relationship with you? Are you finding yourself in relationships with men or persons who kind of hold back, as opposed to being very forthcoming and very giving of love. What does that remind you of in your other aspects of your life? Think about that. See the connections. Go deeper, deeper within. Journal if you have to. Meditate. Listen to music. Get to the essence of what it is that you want in the relationship. Because no matter what Tom is doing, no matter what Tom wants, it really doesn't matter, right? It comes down to what it is that you need and want out of a relationship. If you're not receiving it, that's going to come. What you're not receiving in the relationship is going to come out when you start working on yourself. There's a wound in this relationship that you have with Tom. And the wound could have always been there from past relationships for you. Maybe he's wounded. Maybe he's carrying around something that's kind of holding him back, like preventing him from really attaching to another woman right now. Maybe there's something inside of you that's propelling Tom away. I don't know. But maybe you know there's something inside of you that is wounded, and inside of him and every time you guys are around each other, yes, there is passion, but this passion also this card will also speak to another aspect of passion. But in this sense, there's passion there. That's why you want to continue coming back to Tom, why Tom wants to come back to you. But every time you guys come back to each other, there's a wound that seems to open up and does not heal. And again, that's why it's necessary for each of you to do shadow work. But you can't control what Tom is doing. You can't. But you can control what you're doing, and you can start doing the internalized work that you'll need to in order to have growth in yourself and growth in the relationship. You may find that after doing the healing work that you and Tom aren't fit for each other. You may make that decision. You may say that the wound is too deep and too fragile to keep trying to fix, or maybe you guys work on yourself and you fix it. And that passion, will help drive the relationship. And speaking of passion, that's why this is a struggle for you, because there's a connection, there's a heat from this relationship that's nice. We like that heat. I know I like a lot of heat, and but there's heat and passion that is wonderful, and then there's too much passion that kind of causes flames and destruction, and you just want to be mindful of that. The other aspect about passion is, and what's cool about passion is what are you passionate about aside from trying to build a relationship with Tom? How are you fueling the passion within yourself for yourself? In other words, what are you passionate about? What are you working towards? Start kind of shifting your focus towards your shadow work that you'll be doing to help improve yourself and your relationship. If you need to kind of take a little break from Tom to do that shadow work, that's fine. And to help balance this sometimes deep work to heal the wounds, you find things that you're passionate about. Maybe you're a painter, maybe you're a writer, a singer, a dancer, an artist, whatever the case may be, a chef. Find your passions. Bring it out every day if you can. Spend a few minutes with it. Meditate if you don't know what it is. If you don't know what your passions are, what's burning bright inside of you, then that's when you know you really don't have time or the energy right now to be in a relationship. You've got shadow work to do. And that's also important to know. So that's what we're getting right now from the Dear Heart Oracle. We'll just kind of set those aside for a second. And we're going to move on to the next step. Next up, we have the Romance Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And we're just going to do a quick shuffle. We're looking for jumping cards to help us illuminate some more information about should Dina be in this relationship? What messages do Spirit have for Dina concerning her relationship with Tom? I'm looking just for one or two cards. Okay, I'm gonna stop shuffling here. Okay, so we have love yourself first, and that's interesting because that's the messages that came out in the previous oracle. And then we have true love. Right off the bat, what I'm getting is nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get true love until you love yourself first and work on yourself first. And that's priority number one. And it says here, and this is the message at the bottom, it says, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So we're going to read the guidebook here in this instance, because this is an oracle, and each oracle is different with their own guidebook system or way of doing things. This is alphabetical order. If you desire more romance, first look at yourself in a caring and non-critical way, of course. The more you love who you are, the greater your capacity to feel loved by others. This means trusting yourself to take good care of you, and it may entail becoming more assertive. Don't worry, you can still be very lovable while affirming your boundaries. Perhaps this means spending some time alone instead of in a relationship. During this period, you can delve into introspection to understand the patterns of your love life. Ultimately, you can take responsibility for attracting and agreeing to every relationship you've had. To heal your heart, find the blessing and lessons you've gained from each one. For instance, have you become stronger, more independent, or more patient as a result of your prior partnerships? If so, let everything else from the past go except for the lessons and the love. This card emphasizes the importance of loving yourself first, especially as you prepare for your next relationship or heal the one you're in. As you gain self-respect, you'll begin attracting more loving people into your life. This will lead to healthy friendships and romances based upon mutual respect. And we had discussed that previously as well. Put that here. The other card that came up is true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And what this tells me is that once you do that internal work, whether you're with Tom or whether you're with someone else, doesn't matter. The players on the outside, dear, they will come and go. But what matters is how you are doing on the inside, what's rocking your world, what's making things click in your world, how you are being on this planet, what dreams you are going after, and what partner is coming along for the ride. But if it happens to be Tom, that's wonderful. And this is promising you here, dear, that if you do the work on yourself and what we talked about before, the true love will happen. Tom will be enamored with you, will want to be with you, right? Will be clamoring for you, but so will others. You will probably end up having multiple choices because that confidence will just burst and grow. Let's take a quick look at true love here. Let's see. You pulled this card because true and lasting love is here for you. If your question was about a specific person, then this card serves as validation of the relationship's divine nature. This individual has genuine love for you, and you both can overcome the issues that arise. This is especially the case if you can express your feelings through attributes such as kindness, compassion, and courtesy toward each other. For instance, having honest conversations would be an expression of your true love, even if it involves discussing uncomfortable topics. If you're currently seeking a relationship, This card offers you assurance that true love is on its way. Keep the faith that a wonderful relationship is destined to come to you. And don't compromise with an unsuitable partner. It's essential that you treat yourself well by taking excellent care of yourself. For the foundation of a true love relationship is two people who cherish who they are. Ain't that the truth, right? That's what we want for you. That's what Spirit wants for you. That's what you should want for you. So don't settle. If Tom isn't living up to what it is that you need and want, gently let him go. Let him on his path, and you work on you. He do him, you do you. And then if you guys can come back together later, awesome. But right now, that's just what I feel like Spirit is saying, you know. And yeah, we'll do a quick reading. I was going to do this full-on spread, but I think I just want to get a card on Spirit. Can you tell us, give us a card or two about how Tom feels towards Dina? Okay. Are there any other messages? Okay. The two cards that come up, and this is Tarot. This is the Triple Goddess Tarot. And we have the Chariot first popped up. That's what jumped first. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. And I get that Tom initially was coming strong and hard for you, was pushing hard, came on strong. You like that. The relationship moved at a fast, almost net break kind of pace, which is exciting. And you both were driving that, and he was totally into that. But over time, we see the Five of Pentacles here, where, you know, this individual is looking frustrated. He's looking like a little bit, you know, on the outside. He doesn't necessarily know why. There could be some outside things going on with Tom that are affecting him, that in a way that's preventing him from being 100% in the relationship. But I'm getting the impression that he's got some stuff that he needs to work on, and that he's not quite feeling the relationship like you would probably like him to. So that's what I get from that. I wanted to look and see if there's any other questions here. Can we get a card? Let's see. I actually want to go back to tarot. Can we get a card, Spirit, on is there future? Give us a card about what is the outlook on a future with Tom. Because the Oracle cards seem to indicate that if you guys work on your own selves individually, that things could possibly work out. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, strength. I like that. Okay, so with strength, you see how she's taking her healing hands, and she is going to give this animal who is weak the strength to get up and move. You've got to, the card doesn't really, I get the impression that provided you do the work on yourself, you and Tom, to answer your question, could be in a relationship for a while. But make sure, Dina, that it is because you both want the same things, and because you are strong in yourself, and you are strong in the knowing of who you are and what you want from life, what you want from a partner, and that he's offering that to you. And if he can in turn do that, and he's strong and steps up, then you guys will have no problems being together. But you guys could be together for a while, on shaky ground, and it's just not really going to work, or it will work, but it's just not going to be an abundant kind of love, an abundant kind of romance that you deserve. So just be mindful of that. And how you do that is doing that self inner work. And again, you guys may have to part and then come back together later. I've seen that work for others. It could work for you. If you guys stay together, you're going to have to really work on doing that internal work together. So we're just going to close with a quick card here. Passion came up again. Is there anything else, Spirit, that we can leave with Dina? Anything else? Actually, yeah, there is. We're going to also pull a Heal Yourself reading card. And this card is from the White Rabbit Oracle. It's Passion. Again, emphasizing that. I like that. And we're just going to get one other card that may or may not have to do with love. Just give you a little bit of insight here. Just turn. There's a jumping card. We can just jump forever, right? Nothing in 3. 2, 1. And we'll just pull from the top. Courage. Okay. So this one doesn't have a guidebook, but it's fine. I think it's, again, you see how you want that kind of romance, dear. Make sure that the passion is there. Relationships aren't supposed to be so hard. They're not supposed to be super challenging. Yes, you will have challenging moments in long-term relationships and marriages, but they are supposed to be filled with passion, love, and you also supposed to bring passion from within yourself about your life that you have, and Tom as in turn, and you both mesh your passions together. So just be mindful of that. Make sure that the relationship is like both levels of the same kind of passion, because that's important. Don't waste your time being in a relationship that will not nurture you in that way. And have the courage to walk away if you need to. Have the courage to find your passions that make what burns inside. Stand up for yourself. And however that shows that for you. Anyways, dear, I have to run, but I wanted to thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to do a reading for you. And thanks again for stopping by. Thanks everyone for watching. And this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Take care.